Hi, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow here at Scrapbook.com. I hope you're having a great day. My name's Alexandra and I wanted to talk to you really quickly about the Tim Holtz tool set that goes with the glass mat. So the tool set comes, it has this ruler here that you can see, and on the top of the ruler there's a grooved piece so that it will lock in on the top of your mat and it'll stay perfect in the same position. So that goes all the way along that edge there at the top. And then you also have this scraper tool, which is great for cleaning up messes that dry on your surface. So if you have some adhesive, you can really kind of get in there and clean any of those things off. It's also great, I'm going to show you about mixing with it. It's got this lovely silicone top, so it's really nice to hold and it's not going to slip out of your hand at all. And also somebody asked me a question about a glue gun on the mat the other day. You absolutely can use a glue gun on the glass mat, and this tool is perfect for cleaning it off. You can use the glue gun on the glass surface or on the easy clean mat, which comes on the right hand side of your mat. So quickly just take you through the mat. I do have a more detailed video on Scrapbook.com all about the mat and some of the things you can do on it. But this is the Tim Holtz glass mat with Tonic Studios. You've got this grid area in here, which is 14 inches square. And then over here you have a palette area that is designed to work perfectly with your ink cubes, and you can put any medium on here, so it's really easy to see with that white background. You can also write on here with a Sharpie and then just clean it off with some alcohol, or you can write on here with a dry water eraser. Sometimes when I'm putting lots and lots of colours down, I'll just make some little markings to myself as to what each one is. So this is the Tim Holtz glass mat. It's tempered glass, it's really strong, you can cut on it, you can emboss on it, you can work on it full time. I actually have a few of these in the Hollow. Some of them we use for their crafty purpose like this one, but we also work on them every single day because they're great, because I can just take that dry erase marker or a chalk marker. I write all my notes down the side as well, so I have it there all the time. But I wanted to show you a little bit more about those tools. So I'm going to grab just a piece of white cardstock. Now on this grid you have it in centimeters and you have it in inches on there for your measurements. And you also have some center markings and things, and you can line things up on here, and it's great for matting different layers, or if you want to draw on here and things. So it's really great, this grid. But when you pop your ruler on the top, you may notice it's not perfectly aligned with the grid. That's part of the design. It wasn't intended to line up with that grid, but what it does do is create a really nice straight edge that you can cut against, and you can cut off either side. They have this beveled side, particularly on the right side here, but I'm a lefty and I don't have any issues with it because it's got a nice side on here as well. I have used this lots already. So when I want to use my tool set, I take my piece of cardstock, I clip in my ruler at the top here, and then I make sure the edge of my cardstock is aligned with the edge of my ruler. Then I'm just going to take a little bit of masking tape, and I have my tape just here. You could use some washi tape as well, and I'm going to tape my card in place because I know that that card, wherever I now move my ruler to in this direction, is perfectly aligned with that ruler. So I can take a pencil and I can draw a line. I can also use things like my Nuvo alcohol markers, and you can then just run these down, and you can run down different colors to make different stripes. And then if I wanted to change color, I can lift that ruler up, grab a alcohol wipe or some kitchen towel with some alcohol on it as well. And I'm just going to give that a wipe because it will take that one color off so it doesn't smudge. And then I can put this down again, hook it into that top, and I can make another line exactly straight down the side of it like that. So you can make really nice pinstripes. You can also cut against this edge completely. So don't worry about cutting on your mat. It is designed to do this. So again, I've lined that piece up, and I can take my knife, and I'm just going to hold it straight. Imagine if you quilt and you use a rotary cutter, exactly the same as using a rotary ruler, except it locks in at the top, so it's not going to move on you at all. And I'm just taking my Tonic craft knife, and I'm cutting it, and you can see I've got a really nice straight cut there as well. Now another way I sometimes cut my cardstock, particularly if I have a larger piece, is I do have a rotary cutter that is purely for paper. This is not the same one at all that I use for my fabric, because if you do sew or anything, you'll know that you want to keep your fabric and things completely separate. But I've got a beautiful edge there, and I could cut that strip of cardstock. So really a super ruler, all sorts of things you can do with it. If you want to do something with a larger piece of cardstock, we can do that as well. And so again, I'm going to do the same thing, except this time I'm going to work from the side. So you can also hook this ruler on from the side. And again, I'm going to line that edge up with the edge of my cardstock. So you want to push that edge against the glass because you know that glass is going to be straight all the way along. Again, I'm just going to pop that little bit of tape down just to keep it nice and straight. And if you have your head, so excuse my head just for a second, in the frame, but if you have your head there, you'll find you get a better line up too. So again, I can take my pencil, I can run it along. I have a really nice straight line. I could use my alcohol markers, or I could use a knife or a rotary cutter. So I'm going to take this rotary cutter and I'm going to keep it against that surface. I may need to cut it twice, but it's going to put a nice score fold in there for me. So you can see there, I did get a nice light cut. I'd need to cut a couple of times just to get that pressure. So that is your side ruler. So that works really, really well. You can also use it to mask areas. So if you're applying some ink or something, you can put this across your cardstock and you can then keep yourself a sentiment area, or if you're scrapbooking, you can use it there. And because of the size, it will work with your 12 by 12 papers as well. So now let's just have a little look at this scraper. So as I mentioned, it's great for cleaning up your mat if you have things on it. I have a few bits and pieces over it from acrylic paint and things, but it's also great for mixing. So I have some texture paste here, and I'm just going to pop some down onto my surface. So again, use that palette area for all sorts of things, acrylic paints, inks, everything can go on here. I'm going to use a little bit of Abandoned Coral Distress Oxide. And yes, I absolutely could just kind of mix in there, but sometimes we just want an extra tool. Plus, when you have things like that, you saw how easy that was to clean off. But I can just bring this over here and I can mix. And so I've got that nice area. I can then just grab my cardstock and I can start scraping it off. I can also use my palette knife and just take it straight off of there and work. Or of course, I finished my project. This is all over my work surface. It's dried really hard. Now you can see how easy this surface is to clear up. And I'm just going to clear off my little scraper tool here with some kitchen towel. But then I can really just kind of get in there. And even if this had dried completely solid, it's still going to scrape those areas off. So no need for razor blades. Since I've had this, I've not needed anything else to clean my mat. So you can see I can pretty much get everything up with that scraper. Kitchen towel is perfect, baby wipes, or for those really stubborn stains, all I take is a spritzer of alcohol. Give it a wipe over my mat, and it's as good as new, ready to start again. So thank you for joining me for this quick and simple video with the Tim Holtz Media Mat Toolset. I hope you've learned something. If you have any questions, do leave us a comment below, but we hope to see you again very soon. Happy stamping, everyone. Bye.